how many people actually watch this meeting, but I'm streaming it and recording it. So it'll give me just 1 second. It'll start streaming.
Julie, can I ask you a question? Were you able to salvage any of your beehives?
No. So I'm just gonna wait till next year. Yeah, I have to start. I'm gonna start over again next year. I'm very sad about that. Did she hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry too. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
So I trust you lose your bees because they don't have a place to hibernate for the winter?
Yeah, they well, the bear ate all of the honeycomb.
Right.
So there's nowhere for the bees to go, and there's no babies to keep the hive going. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's no more bees this year. Very sad. But thank you for asking.
It's sad.
All right, Alice, are we ready to start?
Ready.
All right, great. Welcome everybody. It's nice to see everyone to our last meeting of the 2020 calendar year. Hope everyone's doing well. Can't believe it's been almost 8 months since the last time we met. Actually 9 months maybe. And I know that unfortunately I wasn't at the last meeting. The first week of November and the first week of March are like the busiest weeks of the year for me. So I have a lot going on those weeks, but I guess the meeting went well. I read the minutes. So speaking of, shall we get to those minutes? Let me just bring that up real fast. I know we have Marge here, Julie, Tony, so we have the four of us. Perfect.
So Tony's here now?
Yes.
And Sue.
Okay, great.
And
Yep,
Sue, yes. Yeah, we have a quorum of members. Minutes from the previous meeting, November 4th. I wasn't there, but I don't know if anyone had any corrections to make on those or changes.
A job well done. I make a motion that we accept it as presented.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Julie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries to approve the November 4th minutes. Correspond or guests in public comment? Correspondence. Email from Tony Capiello to the Giving Garden at Erickson Farm dated November 3rd. Tony, I know you sent that to all of us, asking for, asking what the quantity of their bounty was, correct? And they didn't really get back to you, but you said you included some pictures in the email, right?
I sent a follow-up email earlier today with some pictures.
Okay. Yeah, I see those.
That's awesome.
45 pounds of potatoes.
Impressive. We grew potatoes for the first time this year in our backyard garden, and we got a few little fingerlings.
Wow.
May I just throw in that I grew potatoes this year, and I had 2 of them weighed over a pound apiece.
Wow.
Red potatoes. So I felt that it was a very good year for potatoes.
Very nice. All right, so obviously they're productive with that garden then, Tony, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Tony, where does the food go, Tony, that they produce?
The food goes to I think it was to the Salvation Army and the Danbury Food Pantry, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Yeah, the Salvation Army Pantry and local soup kitchens is all that they say.
Wow.
Nice. All right.
All right.
Treasurer's report. I have no information on that right now. I don't know if anyone else does.
No, we've, the only money we've spent really was some for brush hogging the properties. Bobby Fisher did, Erickson, Nature Center, and some around Gursky.
And that's it.
You know, I want to spend some money. When do I ask for? I need more trail maps and guides for the Burr Farm.
Are you referring to the trail maps that the booklet that we made a few years ago?
No, the ones that you hand out for individual. You know, what are they, 3 folds?
Yeah.
You know, they're in the kiosks that people take. I'm about out of them.
Marge, I can make copies if you have an original or a clean copy.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the other question, the money that we spent on Chrissy's garden, did that come out of us or did that come out of the rental property at the nature center?
That came, oh.
I thought that came out of us.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I don't really know.
Okay. All right. It's fine.
Sorry.
So, Alice, do I just come over and out to the town hall and somebody will let me in?
Yeah, just drop it in the land use box in front of town hall.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Tupperware container with a white top.
Okay, 'cause I know last time Stephanie, you know, whatever, she helped me get them, but I don't know where they came from.
Okay,
But
well,
I'll
if they're-
just drop it.
They're
I'll
just
drop
too
one. I will drop one over, Alice. As I said, I only have about 10 left, and have used a lot of them this year.
Okay, if you can
Okay.
fold, I can make the copies.
Okay. Very good.
Great.
All right. Thank you, Marge. There's nothing else for treasurer's report. We can move into old business.
I know at the last meeting, we talked about paving the road at Gursky.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
and
that-
I spoke with Ralph Tedesco, and he can make that part of his paving for next year. I also spoke with there's a purchasing agent now, and he said it wouldn't be a problem because specific properties aren't listed on that particular contract. So we would just pay Ralph the cost for materials and labor, so we could get our project done as part of the larger contract. So we don't have to go out to bid. Don't have to do any of that.
Okay.
Okay.
And that doesn't come out of our conservation budget anyway, right?
I think
We had
I
talked
thought it
about
did.
taking that one out of the Gursky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think that, I know I wasn't there at the last meeting, but definitely something that needs to be done. That driveway is in horrible shape and it gets a lot of use now.
Yeah,
So-
and I don't think it'll be that expensive because it will be part of the contract. So I don't think we'll use all, I think it was 30,000 we said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So getting into, so just to wrap up treasurer's report, I mean, there really isn't much, especially heading into this time of year, much that we're going to spend money on, unless someone has an idea or a project upcoming to spend that money. I mean, we still have 6 months next year, so I'm sure things will come along with that. Moving into old business, that I know that most of that was covered on the minutes or at the last meeting. I read that on the minutes, so I don't think there's really anything there to go over with old business in terms of the mowing, the school building project, the horses on the property, the spending projects that we already discussed. I don't know if anyone has anything more to add to that.
I remember we had talked about putting something up in the kiosk, but I guess we could talk about that when we get to Erickson.
About the dogs being leashed.
No, just like a map or something. I know it's just a simple square, but just to put something up in there because it's there and it's empty. And it,
Yes.
even just something
Julie,
that
what
says
property?
Erickson.
Thank you.
Yep. I don't know if we want to reach out to the high school or Girl Scout or Boy Scout troop maybe to make something or.
Well, we have the sign from the trail guide that we could always have made, have it enlarged into a sign and put in there. I mean, that's not a problem. But there's not much to it though. That was like what you mentioned.
Right.
So. But you're right though. It's better than not
like
having
maybe
anything.
a blurb about the blurb that's in the map book, the guidebook there. Maybe put that up.
Yeah, and if I recall too, that we did one for the nature center recently with the sign as well as Burr Farm. Not that recent. I mean, it's been some time now. It was a couple. It was like I think it was around $200. It wasn't a huge expense to have that made. One of those. So yeah, I'll look into that definitely.
Okay. All right.
It would be nice to have some information about the use of the property also, where what the Giving Garden is all about, perhaps for people who walk there.
That's a good idea.
Have some general information.
Tony, do you have like a blurb from Kiwanis that you could include in that?
I don't have something handy, but I can certainly put something together and maybe reach out to them if they would like to contribute to that blurb.
Good.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have something, Tony, from them.
I think also we might want to add something about the fact that we're not mowing in back because we're trying to maintain habitat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they don't have to ask.
All right. All right. So moving on then to 7A, new business. We have Tree City, and that's all we have under new business.
Yeah, we just completed the application and submitted it. We got all the information from us, Parks and Rec, and Public Works, and we submitted that. And we have to start thinking about what we're going to do this year for Arbor Day. We can come up with some ideas that could be virtual, like last year, handing out trees to people, or
we could plant an apple tree at Gursky to replace 2 that died.
Yeah, I think it's more than 2. So.
Oh no.
Yeah,
well,
that's
however
true.
many more we can put in there. Why do you think they died, Alice?
They got weed whacked.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did say that.
Yeah, I remember putting the mulch around. I think it was 6 of them, maybe. In August, I did that. But maybe that was already too late. I'm not sure.
Are apple trees particularly sensitive to their bark being damaged, or was it really aggressive weed whacking?
I think it was just the age. They were planted at quite a young age and probably damaged then, and just never recovered. And certain of the one species did better than the other, I noticed too, in the apples, for whatever reason.
Okay.
But yeah, we could do that, especially if Northwest Conservation has their plant sale. We could get more apple trees.
It's a great idea, yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
On the subject of trees, the last time I talked to Peter at 8 Abbey Road, and we were discussing various things around there. He had mentioned that years ago, Alice, I think you had arranged to have some trees planted along the roadway there.
Yeah, Marge was part of that as well.
He had mentioned that some of the trees had died and at least one was hit by a wayward car. And so if we were looking for tree-related things to do, we could possibly replace some of the trees along the roadway there in front of the residents at 8 Abbey Road.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It would.
What kind of trees were there? Just like pine trees?
They look like spruce to me.
Yeah.
Little spruce. Okay.
Yeah, they were pretty good sized. We had help from George Waltz with a
We
backhoe.
did. George got right down in the hole.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know why they didn't survive, but it would be worth another try.
Yeah, well, like I said, at least one of them was hit by a car,
Right.
maybe more.
Yeah, I
Could
think
it
it
be
was more than
road
one.
salt?
No,
Road
I think,
salt, or they're further away from the road than that?
yeah, and they're uphill, so I think a couple got hit by cars. So,
You know,
so
just a
they'd
thought
probably be a
from
good
me.
buffer.
A thought from me in that same line, Alice. A more like if we put a line of shrubs that would kind of dull the cars that are in the yard. I mean, would kind of camouflage. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that might work. Right, and
You know,
they'd be more easier to replace too.
Put up something that would.
Make it look more appealing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So hopefully they have
give
their
us-
plant sale.
Yes, then we can get apple trees and shrubs.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
hopefully in the spring we can all get together and help plant things.
Absolutely.
Good. Good.
I have a few things from Stephanie about the nature center. Peter Pillar is going to replace. He's the water guy. He's going to replace the filter for radon in the water system. Stephanie's going to work with Chris still in getting estimates on the bathroom, and Chrissy's garden is all set for the winter, and hopefully things will grow and we'll see them in the spring. And that's her report.
All right.
There, yeah, I do know that too. There's a maintenance expense with that as well, but I think Shakespeare's Garden is going to wait for the spring to give us that. So, all right. So, is there any other new business out there? I know, like, it's kind of a slow time of year for us. Pandemic or no pandemic, I know there's not much happening. We actually usually don't have a December meeting. Well, an official one, right, Alice? It's
Right.
usually more festive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll miss that this year.
So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that ham. That's delicious ham. I love that.
Mac and cheese, yeah.
I miss
Get into
Mac's
the-
bar.
Yes.
Well, hopefully next year.
Okay.
All right. So, and then we have our tabled items of the barn quilt and installation of the beehive. But other than that, that's all we have for tonight.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
you missed Alice and Diane saying that they walked up at Sunny Valley and they saw a barn quilt up there, which they enjoyed.
Yep. Very nice if you
Um,
ever go up there.
In New
Where
Milford.
is that?
Yeah, if
In
you,
the Milford.
Yeah.
yeah, the Sunny Valley's down if you take a left at the Staples there.
Yep. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And there's one right by the in front of the New Milford High School. I don't know if that's what you mean by a barn quilt. It's like a painted picture of a quilt on the
Mhm.
wall.
On the
That's
barn.
exactly it.
That's exactly it. Okay. Yeah. They look very nice. Very nice.
There's one off the green there too. I can't think of the name of the road, but it's off the green. It's a small one, a small barn, but a small quilt.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it looks great. Not where you'd expect to see one, but it looks great.
Yeah.
There's one right in the center where the town hall is too, where the town offices are. This one in the barn there. There's a lot of them up there. I took pictures of them all. So when we get together in person, I'll show them to you.
So how
Great.
would can I ask how, I mean, are we getting a painter? Are we having an event and everybody paints a block, or what is it?
The lady that is in charge of the one of the trail in New Milford, she's going to come to our meeting.
Okay.
And when we must get back and let us know how to to go about doing this whole thing.
Okay.
Her name is Harris. And she's the one that took care of the one in the Milford. So, yeah,
Good, good.
good.
All right, thank you. Anyone, just to go around real quick, anybody, anything else to add or say?
I don't know.
I hope everybody has a happy, healthy holiday.
Absolutely,
Safe
thank you.
holiday.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, you too.
Yes, you too.
Two.
Thank you.
Going back to Erickson and the residential, I did get in touch with Pete McPadden about the repairing the spalled concrete on the patio or the front porch there. And he's been very busy. He's begged off. We were going to try and get together this week, but I haven't heard from him yet. And with us heading into the winter season, it may be too late to do anything about it this year anyway. But we'll continue to keep that on our list of things to try and get around to repairing that residential place on Nabby Road.
Oh, and
Good.
Tony, I did all the paperwork for Connecticut, for Danbury Housing for him. It's just one piece you have to fill out and send to them in a very timely fashion.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, listen, I know it was a tough year, but an uneventful year as well. So, hopefully better things in the new year. So I miss everybody and hope everyone has a great holiday and, hope to see you at some point.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Good
Looking
night.
forward to
Thank you.
2021.
Yeah.
Bye, Woody. Take care.
care.